take me through that audition process. So what I think it looks like is what I see on the TV. I think it's you sit in a room, unless you're like getting a special callback, and even if you are, you look like everyone around you, or you see everyone who's familiar to you because you guys have been on the same calls.
Right.
You go in. Are you nervous? Are you excited? I love the audition stories for the big shows. So for those of you who are listening, this is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hilary, the cousin who was very well-to-do. I love the character. How do you prep for that? And then you go in and you read for that with who? With Will? With the mother? Who'd you read with?
I didn't read with any of them. I mean, I started, for me, I hadn't done much of anything. So I had to first go in and see the casting director's assistant.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started there, and they just put me on tape. You know, they read with me, they recorded me. They gave it to the casting director, who went through all the different tapes and said, these are the people we'll bring back. And then I had to go see her and read with the assistant again for the casting director. And then I just had to keep reading for like the writers, then Quincy Jones. When I remember I had to go and they said, you're going to read for Quincy Jones, which I was over the moon. I was so excited. And he was a great audience. And then, it was like that. I had to keep going in for then the producers, and then the studio, and then the network. And when you went in for the network, everyone was in the room. Like, Debbie Allen, because she was directing, was there.
No pressure.
Benny Medina, everybody. I mean, it was
no pressure.
No pressure. And when you go, you show up at the auditions, and there were all these other girls there. When you go to the network, when we came to that part, it was just you and one other girl. And you're waiting, and you're looking. I'm just looking over at her like, oh, she's so pretty. Look what I should have wore that. I should have wore something like that. I shouldn't have wore that. What am I wearing? I can't believe I wore this. Why did I wear? You're just going through everything and the other actress actually had seen her in things before. So and she was, she's beautiful. And so I was kind of flipping out. And then there were like two moms, two Carltons. They were like, everybody was just like having to look at each other and hang out with each other.
That's so rude. Why do they do that? That's so rude.
Well, I'll tell you though, when I first started acting, and going out to auditions, I bumped into Holly Robinson at one of my auditions, and Holly and I had gone to high school together.
She's the sweetest soul ever.
Holly took me under. She was so excited to see me out there at auditions, took me under her wing and took me around and introduced me to all the girls. Every time we'd see each other at audition, she'd introduce me to all the other girls because she had been doing it longer. And she'd be like, this is Karen, take care of her. This is Karen, take care of her, to everybody. It was so sweet. And all the other actresses were so lovely, really good community of people. And Holly is, that's my girl.
I love that story. That is, she can do, first of all, she befriends everybody. Like it's in her spirit to be nice to everybody. So we love Holly for that reason.
Yeah.
And I love that for you. Okay, good. At least you have someone like that. I'm pretty sure we have our stories, but I love this positive story. Of we take care of you. So you read for who when it's the big, big, big thing? Who's in the room? Are you reading by yourself? What are you doing?
No, I think it's always either the casting director or the casting director's assistant that read with me. I don't think I ever had, I didn't have Will in there. I didn't meet Will until I was on the set.
Okay.
And so I had to do, just had to do these scenes. I remember I went to that audition for the network. I was so nervous when I walked in and saw all those people in that room. I freaked out, and and they all laughed because they knew they had all squished into somebody else's, something had happened with where they were supposed to audition, and they had to squeeze into somebody's little office. And so they were all laughing because they were on the floor and all sitting all piled on the desk and stuff. And they were laughing at me being nervous a little, like, oh, come on. And, the head of the network is there, everybody. And I turned away from them, and I saw my reflection in something. Something was on the shelf behind me. I don't know why I always think it's a toaster, but it couldn't have been a toaster in somebody's office. But it could have been. It's true.
You never know. Okay.
But I just saw my reflection, and I started to kind of primp, and fix my hair.
Oh, so you just did it just to do it, and that's what they wanted.
No, I did it because I started to feel Hilary. I started to get into, I just started feeling the character come into me. And as I started playing with my hair and looking at myself and like fixing my lipstick and like just doing little adjustments here and there. And they're behind me kind of giggling because they see what I'm doing. So by the time I turned around, she had inhabited me. She was there. She showed up. Girl showed up.
It was yours to have.
It was crazy. I was so nervous, but made it through.
I'm not an actress, but I see you doing that, primping your hair and being like, and I'm like, she's ours. This is it. She belongs. That's so wonderful.
Yeah,
What
cool.
made you make that choice in that moment, even though you were?
I don't know. I mean, I knew I had to like find Hilary. I had to get out of that crazy room with all the people all over. Like I couldn't be thinking about that. I just couldn't be thinking about, oh my gosh, there's like, Debbie Allen and a million people and, all these executives and such. And everyone was so friendly, but still, And so I turned away. I had to leave them to go to the room I was supposed to be in, which was the house in Bel-Air. And so then, when I looked at myself and saw, started doing that, she started to take over. I mean, that's one thing about Hilary was fun. Hilary she liked to show up
Is that character the opposite of who you are?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's very different from me. I am not very different. Opposite, maybe very different. That is not my thing. I'm not that person. I hope I'm not that. I don't mean to be.
Well, it doesn't matter. I love that person. Please.
She's great. And there's stuff about her that I wish there's things about her that I love that I had when I was her as a character, but it's hard for Karyn to have.
I would say now in life, you probably think, oh no, that's not me. But the older I get, the more I'm comfortable with being as bougie as possible and unapologetic. So, and I think now revisiting that character, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, no, what's wrong with that?
It's true. Revisiting the character, I have so much more appreciation for her than I did at the time. That is true. But I don't think I was ever like her in that regard. And the things I really admired about her, though, I really admire, and I look at now and I admire, is her confidence, complete confidence and unapologetic ways. I mean, I just love that. And that's very much not like me. I'm all, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm careful. Don't want to rub anybody the wrong way and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm better as I get older about it. But certainly when I was playing Hilary, I think part of what was so fun about playing her was these were parts of myself that that needed healing and that needed that. And she had those things. So it was so fun to dive in and be just like bold and say these things and be this,
Can I ask what parts of yourself needed healing?
Not healing from like trauma, but I just mean I don't mean so much from trauma. Well, probably a little bit of trauma, but I mean from like, to be able to accept myself more and be unapologetic. This is me. This is who I am. I don't have to try to make you comfortable. I don't have to try to be the thing you expect me to be. I think I learned those lessons early in life for whatever survival reasons I learned them, and getting around and getting by and wanting to be loved. Some of us have it more than others for different reasons. And I can look and recognize it more now and see how much I wanted to be approved of and wanted to be loved and only child, wanted everybody to stay. Don't go, take this doll. You can have it. Just stay. What can I do to make you stay? And it was great with Hilary is she was just trying to be Hilary.